morning today, guys, from Plymouth Station. Hope everyone is well. Western Rail Spot back with another video. Today is unfortunately, it's going to be a very big day today, but today is the last full day of the Class 43 Castle Set HSTs for Great Western Railway, after nearly 50 years of service. So today I'm going to be riding the Cornish Mainline down to Penzance. Kind of do a bit like a, overview of the route as well, because I've never actually done it myself. So I'm going to be doing that today. So yeah, you guys are going to want to stick around for this. So hope you all enjoy today. Let's get straight into the video, shall we?
So here we start at Plymouth Railway Station, which is one of the main stations in Devon. The station, as you can see, does have only 6 platforms, but is still quite a major hub for GWR in particular. The station opened in 1877 and is basically managed by, obviously, Great Western Railway, as you can see on the sign of Plymouth, and also cross country as well. This station basically connects up with other destinations like Exeter St David's, London Paddington, via Tiverton Parkway and Taunton, and also other destinations like Gunnis Lake and Penzance, which again will be the route I am taking, which is the Cornish Mainline. And also cross country do use this route as well, their trains go up to Edinburgh, Glasgow and Aberdeen. And obviously I have been to Scotland quite a number of times this year. I've been to all 3 locations myself. So yes, I do highly recommend checking my videos out on Scotland if you haven't already. But yes, basically I will be riding the Cornish Mainline down to Penzance today, which I will talk more about in a moment. But there we go. Our train is going to be at 9:10 down to Penzance. I will talk more about that in a second. So, as you can see on the destination board, I noticed this a lot where it said last day of Castle Class HST, even shown there. Our train was only going to be four carriages, as the GWR sets are only 4 carriages. So here comes our train that's pulling in now into Plymouth Station, which is the 0910 service down to Penzance, which is a stopping service. Later on I do ride a couple of non-stop services, which I will talk more about later. But yeah, absolutely fantastic these HSTs are, and it is absolutely fantastic to be going on the final one. So sit back and get ready for this amazing ride, guys. Sorry that I could not record much of me getting on due to how busy the train was, so I do apologise for that. However, as you can see, we are crossing the Royal Albert Bridge into Saltash, which is the first stop into the Cornish Mainline. For those who want to know, the Royal Albert Bridge was basically built in the years between 1854 and 1859. But before we did cross the Albert Bridge, we did cross the last few stations in Devon, which are Devonport, Dockyard, Keyham and St Bude Ferry Road. So here we are. As you can see, it is quite foggy outside, so it was really hard to see what was going on, but you can see just about the crossing of the bridge, and also you have the Tamar Bridge as well, which also does link the Devon and Cornwall as well, but that's mainly just the road bridge, so we were crossing the rail bridge. But yeah, we are now crossing the Royal Albert into Saltash, as you can see, at quite a low speed, obviously due to the fact that trains can't go through this bridge at a very high speed, otherwise derailments could easily occur. But yes, I will talk more about the Cornish Mainline in just a moment's time. But here we are now arriving off the bridge and getting into Saltash Station. So basically, now that we have basically crossed Saltash, but the one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was this route is only 79 miles, does take nearly 2 hours to get from Plymouth down to Penzance, But the stations on this route are, that I didn't say from earlier, Saltash, St Germans, Menheniot, Liscard, Bodmin Parkway, Lostwithiel, Pass, St Austell, Truro, Redruth, Camborne, Hale, St Earth and Penzance. For those that wanted to know all the stations on the Cornish Mainline, those are all the stations that are on this route. So yes, I thought I would let you all know of that, as that's something I didn't really describe from earlier. But here we are now pulling into St Germans Station, which is the next stop down from Saltash. So here we are now carrying on through the rest of this amazing route. Later on though, we will pass some more amazing scenery as we go down that this route has to offer, and so far I was absolutely really enjoying it. What this route did remind me of was the Golden Valley line from Swindon to Cheltenham Spa, because obviously we're passing a lot of viaducts in this route. And also, as you might notice, there are a lot of speed drops, which do vary a lot lower than my local route, which is the Great Western Mainline, for those that don't know. Obviously, that runs between Bristol, Templemead and London Paddington. Obviously, it starts from about 90 miles an hour between Bristol, Templemead and Bath, and then picks up to 125 miles an hour later on in the journey. So here we are now making our arrival into Liscard Station. Liscard Station opened on the 19th of June 1859. Basically, this route connects with the Loo branch, which basically runs off to the side. Obviously, we're not going to be taking that branch line today due to engineering works being done on that section. But yeah, this is the station only has 2 platforms, and obviously it was getting a little bit busy due to other rail enthusiasts that were here for the HST. Now we are departing Liscard. Our next stop becomes Bodmin Parkway. Something that I did want to talk about was the ticket I got for this journey today. Now, most of you might be wondering, I probably bought a standard return, but I found out that obviously because I was going to be doing a few runs of the Cornish Mainline, not just the one run, as I was going to be doing a few non-stop service runs between Plymouth and Penzance, I decided to buy a Day Ranger, which is the Cornwall Day Ranger, to make life a lot easier rather than just buying a standard return. Obviously, a standard return, I looked at it, was about nearly £10. But I thought that the Cornwall Day Ranger was a lot easier because I could go anywhere on the Cornish Mainline for a whole day, and obviously I was going to be travelling to other stations as well in the middle of the route, so the Cornwall Day Ranger was very ideal to get. It was about £11.30 with my 16 to 25 rail card. Again, it's slightly a bit more than the standard return, but it's so much easier it's so much easier to use, because then you can go absolutely anywhere you want. It's basically unlimited travel in a day. So it was very helpful and ideal to get. So I'm very glad I spent my money on a Cornwall Day Ranger, and I highly recommend getting one if you ever do visit the Cornish Mainline and you do travel to various stations on it. I highly recommend getting the Cornwall Day Ranger because it's not that much at all, and it's definitely worth the price for what it is. So here we now approach our next station, which is Bodmin Parkway Station. Again, another station that opened in the year 1859. Basically, a couple facts about this station. 2 platforms for the Cornish Mainline, and then basically you've got another platform which was actually, interestingly enough, and it's not a place I've been to, you can alight for the Bodmin and Wenford Railway, which is a heritage line, and some of my friends have been to that because obviously they run occasional galas. So yeah, it is a station I would really like to visit again one day and head to one of the galas there. Hopefully that can be in a future video, so hopefully you guys will get to see that. So as you can now see, we are approaching our next stop on the route, which is Lostwithiel Station, which again is another key stop on the route, which is not too far from Bodmin Parkway. And as I mentioned before, a lot of the stations on the Cornish Mainline are pretty close together. Some of them are only about 13 minutes, some of them are only about 8. So in overall, so far from my experience of this route, it hasn't felt like really long at all. It has actually felt really, really quick of a journey. It hasn't felt like a whole 2 hours so far. It has been going very, very nice and quick. So yeah, I have really been enjoying the scenery behind this route, and obviously we still got a little bit of a way to go yet before we reach Penzance. But so far, absolutely loving this route. It is definitely highly worth checking out if you guys really, really want to. But now we are now departing Lostwithiel Station. And then we make our next point on the route, which will be Parr. So as I mentioned earlier, here we are now picking up the speed through the rest of this route. And as you can see, all the amazing fields and the trees. And this is why I like these long journeys for reasons, is to be able to see some of the most amazing scenery. As obviously we're way far down this route now, seeing some of the most beautiful scenery, which I haven't really come across before. It's definitely a lovely southwest side of it that I really, really like the most. Passing all this amazing, beautiful scenery, which is why I like traveling on trains a lot. It's something that I've always liked doing, and I've always liked to see some beautiful, beautiful scenery on the railway. So yeah, our next calling point will be Parr, which I will talk about when we arrive into in just a few moments. So here we now make our approach into Parr Station. For those that may not know, Parr is a key point for this route, and again, another key station. But this time, basically, you can change here for a branch line that runs away from Parr called the Newquay branch, which again is another line I've not been on, so I won't know it very well, as this again is my first full time down this route, and I won't really get time to cover it today. However, this station does serve pretty close to St Blaise, which has a turntable. And from the past, what I know, where a lot of charter rail tours, like steam rail tours, etc., would only go as far as Parr, because obviously there is no turntable in Penzance. So it's the only place for them to really terminate. But yeah, Parr is quite a very, very well-known station on this route, for those that do not know. So now that we are on our departure from Parr Station, we now make the next calling point, which will be St Austell Station, which is only around the corner. It doesn't take too long to get to. But obviously after St Austell, then we'll be calling at Truro, Redruth, Camborne, Hale, St Earth and Penzance. As this, as I mentioned, this is a stopper HST that was working Plymouth all the way down to Penzance. Again, I will be on the non-stop run later from Plymouth to Penzance again, which I will talk more about later on as we do that route and do that run. So yeah, now we're on our departure. We carry on through the rest of the amazing Cornish Mainline. So here we make our approach into St Austell Station. What I liked about this station was the idea of the accessible footbridge that this station has. Basically, you can easily cross platforms via the stairs or the main lifts, which is something that I really, really liked about this station actually. So the fact that passengers had the ability to get from one side to another quite easily. A bit like Goring and Streatley Station on the Great Western Main Line, which is a station I've been train spotting at quite a few times. So yeah, I do like it. Indeed, the fact that they put these accessible footbridges in to make it a lot easier for passengers to interchange across without any concerns whatsoever. But now we are on our departure, and then we will be making our next stop at Truro, which will take probably about 13 to 15 minutes. So here we are now on the approach into Truro station. The first thing I saw just before pulling into the station was the level crossing, but also the signal box that opened in the year 1899 and closed in the year 2024. And what was the reason this happened was because the route was getting digital signalling upgrades. And basically, the signal box itself was basically had mechanical levers. So back in the days when mechanical interlocking used to be very well known for signalling, but nowadays railway signalling is now becoming more digitalised, especially on routes like the East Coast Main Line, where digital signalling is now becoming popular. So yeah, now we are now on the approach into Truro Station, as we will pass over the level crossing any second, and we've just passed the signal box as well. At Truro Station, you can alight for the Falmouth branch line. Again, not going to have time to cover it today, but this is a branch line that is always operated by a Class 150. But yes, here we go, making the approach into Truro Station. Sorry I couldn't film that last part, but here we are now arrived at Penzance for the very first time, making my way past the HST to go and get a few pics. But what a journey this was, absolutely fantastic. So now we're on the non-stop down to Penzance on the 1516, so it's going to be a pretty quick ride, hope you will enjoy. So here we go, crossing the Royal Albert Bridge again. As you can see, it is much better now. Not so foggy as it was this morning, so you could actually get a much better view of the actual across the Tamar, which was absolutely fantastic to see. So it was really good that I managed to get another run. A bit better than the run, which was the stopper run this morning that I did at 09:10 when it was incredibly misty and you couldn't even see a thing. But at least this time you can actually see a bit more of what's happening as we were crossing over the bridge. And I've got to say, I absolutely love crossing this bridge. It is absolutely amazing, fantastic views. And once again, if you haven't been down this line, highly recommend, check it out. It's definitely worth seeing. So something that I forgot to mention about earlier was the comfort of these seats. Comparing to our usual IETs that we have on the network, our Class 800 and 802s, the HST seats were the most comfortable seats, I have to say. So much better padding, and the headrest is absolutely amazing. And you also get a nice armrest as well, so you can rest your arms on. But yeah, absolutely rate these seats. And you get the little pull down table as well, just like on any of the normal trains. And the nice GWR logo embedded into the seat, which I absolutely have to say. The legroom as well was absolutely fantastic as well. Plenty of legroom, highly rated, definitely. It's similar to the Great Western OETs. But also, what I really like about the HSTs is the plug socket, is the fact it's not poorly designed. So yeah, absolutely, really glad it's put in a good place, because with the IETs, it's basically put under the actual seat, so makes it harder to reach. So absolutely fantastic this was.
So first off, it's been a very fantastic day today. I'm currently still on the HST non-stop down to Penzance. It has been absolutely amazing today. I've had so many great runs across the whole of the Cornish Mainline. But yeah, this is where we will then jump on 5:32 back to Plymouth, which will be a non-stop. I may not be able to try and film parts of it because it will be incredibly dark, so you won't really see a lot of what's going on and stuff like that. I'll be back in Plymouth around 7 something, and then catch my train back. So yeah, today's been absolutely fantastic today, and I'm glad you guys have managed to stick around. Hope you will enjoy this amazing content. But yeah, we'll get to Penzance by about 4:54, and it will be quite dark when we get there. So yeah, I will speak to you all in a minute.